Hi, I'm Kaan Zorlu, also known as Obaida. In this series of tutorials, we will go step by step through the process of creating a badass Mohawk hairstyle using XGEN and Arnold renderer in Maya. In this course, I will guide you through advanced techniques and workflows, enabling you to craft a stunning Mohawk hairstyle in the highest quality with an impressively short time frame. Make sure to follow this series through to the end, as the final part holds key techniques that will make your hairstyle truly stand out. So, without further ado, let's kick things off by importing our reference from clicking this icon. Now from here, I will select my image reference and click open to import it to my viewport. After that, I will select it and click on Ctrl A to open the attribute editor. And then I will hold Ctrl and left mouse click to adjust the size and the offset of the image so I can pin it on the left corner. In this way, it will be pinned to my perspective camera and it will move along with my camera. What I will do for the next step, that I will make sure that my geometries are in a correct layers. This will allow me to organize my scene way better. I will add the hair proxy to a different layer and the other geometry to another layer. This will help me to hide or unhide or just use different layer modes for different geometries, which will be really helpful later when working with the hair proxy we have. As you can see here, I can hide my geometry. I can put it in a template mode where it's not distracting us while working with XGen, and do the same for the geometry as well, maybe putting it in a reference mode where you can select it. So after that, I will just use lasso tool to select the faces on the head geometry to create the scalp geometry. And the scalp geometry will be our geometry that will hold the XGen guides. As you can see, after getting selection, I will just turn on symmetry and just clean up my selection to make sure that I've selected all the faces I want. Also, I will check my hair proxy as well to make sure that I'm not missing any faces around. Now I will hold down Shift and right mouse click to open this quick menu and select duplicate face. In this way, I will get a separate geometry that will be called Scalp. I want to delete history on both geometries as well and rename them correctly. After that, what I like to do is to select my scalp geometry and hold right mouse click to assign a new material to my scalp. I will choose Lambert here and I will choose a green color. This will make it visually easy to recognize. And what I like to do here personally is to select the faces of my scalp geometry. I will hold down Shift and right mouse click again and click on Transform Faces. This will allow me to offset the scalp a bit from the head, which is really useful when later dealing with selection or painting the mask. As you can see, I will adjust the local translate Z to 0.02. This will be slightly offset from the head. I don't want to make a big gap between them. I will assign my geometries to the proper layers as well, the new geometry we have created. After that, I will turn on the symmetry again and select the faces that will hold the hair. I don't want my hair to flow all over the scalp, as you can see, especially on the edges. This will make painting masks really hard. So after selecting the faces, I will go to XGEN editor and click on create a new description. I'll give my collection description and name. I will make sure to make placing guides enabled, and then I will click on create. As you can see, now we have an XGEN description ready to work on. I will put all my geometries inside the geo layer in a reference mode where I cannot select them by accident. And I will take my add guides tool and I will start by adding my first guide to the scalp. As you can see here in the center, I will start with the primary shapes, the big shapes that will define our hairstyle. As you can see, I'm using a scale tool to scale up my guide, and after scaling it up I will choose the Scalp XGEN guide. This will reset the transform on the guide and it will make sure that you don't get any problems later. Now I will start shaping my guide, as you can see, using the Scalp XGen tool. Also, what I like to do is to select the vertices of each guide and just adjust them manually. Then here you can just click on rebuild from the guide tools just to give more CVs to your guide. This will allow me to control them better and it will give it a smoother shape, which will help us later. Now I will complete on adding the second guide. What I like to do is to copy the shape from the first guide and paste it to the second guide just by holding down the right mouse click. After pasting the shape, I will just adjust the scale of it and then use the Scalp XGen guide tool to give it a proper shape. As you can see, I don't like to see any straight guides. This will really affect your hairstyle, and I want you to check your guides from all the angles and make sure that there is no guide is straight. From all the angles, it should have like a slightly wave, just like a natural hair. Here I will keep on adding my primary shape guides. I will keep on adjusting them using the same tools and making sure that I don't get any straight guide. I want them to take the shape of my hair proxy. Like, I made that proxy for a reason, right? I want to get the same shape. I don't want to get out of shape while adjusting, also keeping in mind the flow of my reference. As you can see, the hair on my reference, how they are flowing backward. So I want to get the flow and the softness of my reference while maintaining the shape of the hair proxy I'm using. Here I will complete on adding the last guide for the primary shapes. As you can see, we got like a really nice flowing guide shapes. I turn off the wireframe and turn off my hair proxy just to visualize the guides on their own. I like the shape in general, it looks really good. As you can see, they have a little bit of wave where they're not so straight. From now on, I will start adding the secondary shapes. Like, I want to get like the second guides, the second row of guides, which will help me to get the main shape I'm looking for in my hairstyle. Just the same thing, I will use the add guide tool, add a new guide on the left side, and keeping an eye on my reference that is pinned on the left side of my screen. It's really important to have your reference opened always, as you can follow the flow of it, where you should maintain the shape and the flow of the original hair you're working on. Make sure to select the Sculpt Guide tool every time you scale or you rotate your guide. It's really important to to zero transform your guides. As you can see on my channel box on the right side where I'm scaling my guide, it's giving me a transformation scale. It's really important to reset that just by selecting this tool. Once you select your guide and just click on the Sculpt XGen tool, it will automatically reset transform on your guides, which will be really helpful because XGen is extremely buggy and I don't want to have any problems later after working on my hairs. Okay, this looks so good. I like the general shape here. I will just adjust a few guides here and there, and then I will start filling some of the gaps I have between my primary and secondary shaped guides. I like to get the big shapes first. I like to get like, as you can see, I added my first guide on the very edge of my hairstyle, and then I went over just from the center without filling the head. And after that, for the secondary row, I just added it on the very edge of my hairstyle. I like to get the main shapes correct, and after that I will start filling in the shapes one by one. This way it will be much easier for you to get your hair right, and it will be much easier to add new guides later as it will take their shapes. As you can see here, I'm still without adding any guides in the middle. I'm still adjusting the shapes. I'm still adjusting the primary look of my hair, as you can see, just on the edges and in the middle without filling any gaps. I want to make sure that my hair looks good without the detailing guides inside. Here I'm just filling the in-between gaps because I don't want to have big gaps between my guides, because I'm looking for a specific shape, as you can see on my reference. Now, once I'm happy with the guides on the left side, I'll select them and just mirror them to the right side. When I turn off my hair proxy layer, as you can see now, I can visualize the XGEN guides, which they are looking really good for me at this point. From now on, I will select all my guides and rebuild them. This will give me a uniform number of CVs, and I will make sure that they are all looking smooth. Okay, thank you guys for supporting me, and please subscribe to my channel, and see you in the next lesson.